In as much as the people no longer trust the judiciary, we must have patience. We must exercise patience on the judiciary. We must not force them or begin to make them feel as if they are nobody. We need to have patience with them so that they will carry out their case. Of course, the date is not yet over. I said September 16 should be a day that we are looking up, that should be the deadline, which they have to pass the case, the judgment before September 16. So, but so you know, PW's case at the tribunal should be 180 days according to law. The last possible date for final conclusion and judgment is September 16, 2023, meaning that this case must not go beyond September 16 at the tribunal. You see, you have so much doubt on the Nigerian system. If they can swear in a president that has questionable characters, it will be difficult to trust the judiciary system of Nigeria, because the lies that is being told and the effort that so many people are making, you will see that we are not even talking about the politicians. Because before you blame the politicians, you must understand that these politicians you are trying to blame, they are not the ones doing us. Tinubu is just one person, but he has people that is surrounding him that now make it what? A full corrupt army. So if those full corrupt army decide today that they no longer want corruption any longer, which I know it is impossible, it is very close to impossible, Tinubu will lose his strength, and all other corrupt politicians will lose their strength. So we have a problem with the people, not the government. If the people who are supporting the government, the police, this is exactly what happened in Niger. The military took his time, the army man took his time to take over. He convinced the people. There's a reason why Lucifer convinced the angels in heaven to leave their comfort zone to come with him, even though they are now regretting it. So there's a reason why people will follow a person. Human beings are not goats that you can just wake up one morning and start controlling. No matter how dictatorship you are, the one day there's going to be a rebellion and there will be a revolution. So the reason why people are following these corrupt leaders and why these corrupt leaders are succeeding is because of the people who are behind them. So I have seen this lack of trust when it comes to the judiciary system. People no longer trust the court, because when you go to court, it's more like it is only the poor that is being judged, but the rich always have their way. Now, good part is that everything concluded on time, earlier than scheduled, due to small number of witnesses and evidence presentation from APC and INEC lawyers. So those weeks they were supposed to use to present their own evidences became 3 weeks and free time for the court, since both APC and INEC closed their case early without witnesses, making the tribunal conclude adoption of addresses earlier than scheduled. So while we are waiting, there's a full explanation that the reason why the court is delaying is because it seems we are still in those weeks that APC could not present their witnesses. I think APC came with one, INEC did not even come with any, with all their noise making. It is clearly evidently that Labour Party made a case for themselves, but APC cannot even prove how or why Tinubu is the president, and INEC cannot still prove how they made Tinubu the president of Nigeria. There is something they cannot prove yet. Now, if not for the fact, the Presidential Election Tribunal would have concluded hearing and adoption of addresses by 13th or 14th of August, which is just this Monday, 4 days ago. So according to schedule, we should have still been in court until Monday and then wait for judgment date latest by September 16. So if the judges decide to use that September 16 as the judgment date, it's still within law, and that decision lies solely on them. One thing is for sure, judgment date cannot go beyond September 16. Just know this and no peace. It cannot go beyond September 16. So while we remain on their necks to give us a date, let's also put that in mind. Note that the quicker the PEPT gives the judgment, the earlier the Supreme Court can start final proceedings, and the Supreme Court has 60 days to give final judgment. So whatever happens, September 16 is the final day for presidential election petition tribunal judgment, and November 29th, 2023 is the final possible date for the judgment from Supreme Court. So no matter what happens, Tinubu and his vice president should know that they stole the seats and they stole the people's mandate. So now let's talk about the whole affairs. Of course, I made listed in my previous video what we are expecting from the court, because the court cannot come and be going. It's not possible. They can't come and be going. They have to, in one way or the other, help us out to pass this judgment in a very good way, in a conducive way, so that we cannot be thrown aboard. Now, what the courts do in election petition, so what we're expecting from the court, the only job of the court in election is to ensure that the will of the voters prevails. Number two, the court performs the noble function by ensuring the integrity of the processes of the election is upheld. It is the duty of the court to prevent the public from electing persons of questionable characters by way of disqualification. It is the duty of the court to protect and enforce the will of the people by invalidating an elections marred by irregularities that potentially casted shadow on the integrity of the outcome. The courts have the authority to ensure the electoral process have been conducted according to the law, rules and regulations, and that returns are made in strict compliance with the constitution. So this is what we are expecting from the court, the 5 positive facts. Now, if they fail to obey the court order, that means if the court itself fails to obey the law, what is going to happen? What will the people do? Of course, we are going to vent. We will definitely vent, and we must force them to give us the final judgment, and it shouldn't exceed September 16. Come on, guys. Today is August 19. We have time. We have time. Let's be patient. Look, September 16 is not far. So let's be patient and wait for them to, give us what we are expecting, what is expected of them. All eyes should be on the judiciary. This time around, no going back, no coming front. We are standing on that mandate, and that mandate we shall get. Thanks for supporting the Future News. Peace.